Hi everybody, and welcome to my Stamperia Songs of the Sea mini album tutorial series designed for Scrap and Create. The products that I am using today from the Stamperia Songs of the Sea collection are listed in the description box below, so you can click on those links to go to the Scrap and Create website to purchase those products and follow along. And there are also links to some products available in my Etsy shop, so if you would like to purchase those, you can click on those links too. Stay tuned for the tutorial. In today's tutorial, we're going to begin decorating page 3. We're going to start here in the center, so opening up all of the flaps. The first piece we're going to cut is from the 12 by 12 paper. So I've cut one piece to 4.5 by just slightly less than 6 inches. And I'm going to place this here in the center. Then from this 12 by 12 paper, I cut 2 pieces that measure 4.5 by 3.5. And I'm going to place one piece on each of these first flaps here. Next, I'm going to close these flaps and come here on the outside of those flaps. From the 8 by 8 papers, I've cut 2 pieces that measure 4.5 by 3.5, and I'm going to place one here and one here. Now from this same 12 by 12 paper, I've cut 2 strips here for these small little gussets. These are 3/8 by 4.5, and I'm putting one here and one here. Then from the 8 by 8 paper, this paper here, I've cut 2 pieces to 3.5 by 4.5, and I'm going to place one here and one here. Once those flaps are covered, I'm going to come here to the outside, and from this 12 by 12 paper, I've cut 2 more pieces that are 3.5 by 4.5. Now I'm going to place this one here on the front of this flap, but for this one, I'm going to put a swing tab on. So I'm first going to line this up where it needs to go. Then I'm going to place my flap down. This chipboard piece is what I'm going to be using. So I'm lining it up with the center of that, the vertical line on that flap. I've pierced a hole through this piece already. And then I'm just going to pierce down through my paper. And I will add my brad through my chipboard piece and then down through this piece. So I'm going to attach this piece here and this piece here. Next, I'm going to open this up. I've already placed my magnets here, so I placed the one down here first, and it is about 1/2 inch from the edge and in the center. Then I placed my magnet here, closed this to place my magnet correctly here. Now I had this strip of paper left over from one of the first cuts we made, and it was the right size for my band. So I just cut this to 4.5 inches. And I'm going to adhere this down here to cover my belly band. From this 12 by 12 paper, I've cut 6 3/4 by 4.5, and I'm going to place this up here on the top flap, covering that magnet. And then from this 12 by 12 paper, I've cut 7 inches by 4.5 inches, and this piece is going to go here underneath my belly band. For under the belly band, I cut a piece of cardstock to 4 inches by 4 3/4. Then from my 12 by 12 paper up here at the top, I've cut this to 3 3/4 by 4.5. I'm going to place this here in the center, and then I have one of my adhesive paper cutouts that I'm going to place here in the center. Once the front side is done, I'm going to flip over. This is from the 12 by 12 paper. It is 3 3/4 by 4 1/2, and I'm going to place this here. And then I've cut this from the 8 by 8 paper, and I am going to adhere just the bottom portion down here so that the top part is open and a photo can slide underneath. Once my photo mat is finished, I'm going to place it under my page belly band, and then from the 12 by 12, and I'm pretty sure this is from the 8 by 8 papers, I'm going to place these here as well. So these can be used as journaling spots, or you could place a photo here. So you could do either with those, whatever you wanted to do. So I'm just going to layer those up underneath. And then I have more of my adhesive paper cutouts. Starting with the 2 coin pieces, I'm just going to add these to my belly band to give it a little bit of that shimmery look. And I'm going to place this one right over top of the one that's actually on the band. And then this one, I'm going to place just a little bit lower. So my magnet is here, and I don't want to place it on my magnet, so I'm just going to place it there. And then I have these 2 bottles from the adhesive paper cutouts that I'm going to place here, but I want the photo to be able to tuck behind it, so I'm not going to remove all of the backing. I'm only going to remove part of my backing. So what I'm going to do is lift up here and then tear this. So only this portion is sticky. And I'm going to put this one on in just a minute too, but for right now, I just want to know where to place these because I want them to be staggered like this. So this one first, and then this one, I'm going to remove just a little bit more than I did on the previous one. I'm going to take a little bit off of this bottleneck so it's just a little bit sticky, because it's going to stick right onto the bottle that's already there. So then my photo should slide behind it. And then I should have actually taken more off from the bottom. So I'm going to very carefully come in here. Maybe I can pull this whole thing off if I'm careful. Okay. On this small one on the front, I'm going to pull off just a little bit at the bottom as well, so that it will be adhered down. If you don't want to do this and you want to adhere the whole piece down, you can. Your photo would just be smaller, or you could put these on cardstock and fussy cut them and then apply just the adhesive to your cardstock. But I'm going to do mine like that, and that is our page finished. So next we're going to flip over and decorate the back side. The first piece we'll be cutting for the back side is going to be here, and I've cut from my 8 by 8 paper from the top section 1.5 by 7 inches, and I'm going to be placing this one, tucking it just down into that belly band. Then for the next piece, from this 8 by 8 paper, I cut another piece that's 7 inches by 1.5 inches, and I'm going to place this piece here on the top of this belly band. Now that I have my paper on my belly band, I'm going to go ahead and apply some adhesive to each side of this front pocket and then adhere this down so I can close that up. Then I had this piece from the 12 by 12 paper, and I first cut this to 7 inches, then I cut this to 1 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to apply this here to the front of my pocket. I'm going to use this from the die cut pieces and place it here, sticking off the pocket just a little bit, so I'm not going to add adhesive on this top corner. So I will just go ahead and apply that right across here to give it just a little bit of embellishment. I'm going to start on my booklet for the back pocket. So from this 12 by 12 paper, I cut a 4-inch strip across the bottom. Then I cut this into 2 6 by 6 pieces. Now for this piece, I'm going to place it here on the back, and this one I'm going to place here on the front. Then from the 12 by 12 paper, I cut out this cut apart, and I'm going to place it here in the center of my booklet. Then I've cut 2 pieces from this 12 by 12 paper that I had left over. I just cut 1 strip to 4 inches by 6 inches, and these I'm going to place here on the inside of my booklet like this. For the inside of my card, I'm going to take this little clamshell piece from the Collectables, and I'm just going to adhere the right side and the bottom section to that cardstock so that the photo will slide behind it. And then for this seashell piece, I'm going to adhere it like this. So I'm going to put my adhesive only where the piece meets that cardstock. So it's going to be here, here, and up here. Then my photo will still slide behind this. So once my card is finished, I'll go ahead and place it here in that back pocket. And remember, you can also place it if you want to like this, to where it's just a flap that covers the entire page. That's actually really cute too, because that's a cute image. But you have to decide now, because when we go to decorate and add the gems and beads, if this is on top, this is what's going to be embellished. If not, this is what's going to be embellished. But I'm going to first come in here and add my tags to my front pocket. From my 12 by 12 paper, I have these 4 tags. I punched holes in them, and then I added some eyelets to all of them. And then from my 8 by 8 papers, I have these 2, and I punched smaller holes and used smaller eyelets here. Now I have this charm and this charm are from the Scrap and Create paper, that the pack of charms that came with this paper. This mermaid charm and this charm came from Scrap and Create, but I think it came with the Graphic 45 Make a Splash bundle. I just didn't use all of the charms, so I pulled some of these because I want to put charms on all 4 of the bigger tags. I'm not going to put charms on the smaller tags though. So what I am going to do is add a little bit of twine to my tags, and just a little tiny piece. So I think I'm going to cut this about this big. Let's see what that is. It's about almost 5 inches. So I'm going to just run it through those tags like that with my smaller tags, but then with my larger tags, I'm going to add the charms on them as well. For my larger tag, I cut my piece to 6 inches. I'm going to thread my charm on. Then I'm going to take the ends through here from the back side and then loop it up. And then my charm should be then on the front of my tag. And then I'm going to take these and tie these in a knot so that that charm doesn't fall off or come loose. So I'm going to do that with the rest of my tags. I'm going to just take my tags now and layer them into my pocket here. And then I'll stick my smaller ones right inside. I am going to trim my tags just because I don't want those to be sticking up quite as high now that I see them in here. If you like the look of that, you are definitely more than welcome to leave them like that. But I'm just going to make mine shorter so there's not as much sticking out of the top. Then I'm going to push these down in here like this. The last thing I'm going to do is add my pearls, and I'm going to leave mine like this, especially since all these charms are on here. It's pretty chunky. I don't want that card to be on the front. So I'll be adding my pearls down here to the pocket, and then on this side, I'm going to add some pearls and gems here. For the back side of the page, I've gone ahead and added pearls to all of the centers of these gears over here, and then I've placed 3 on the telescope. And then on the other side of the page, I added 2 pearls here and here, 2 pearls here, and I have 2 crystals here and 3 crystals here. Now that the page is done, I'm going to go ahead and place it in my album. So I'm first going to add my adhesive to both sides of the 1/2 inch top section on this hinge piece. Next, I'm going to slide the hinge piece between those pages. This one's a little bit tighter because of all the stuff here, so I want to make sure that I get this on correctly. Once I have it in place, I'm going to go ahead and press down to attach this to the page. And then I'm actually going to open up, actually I can probably do it this way. That'll be a little easier. If I open up that top part, it's a little easier for me to see, to get this piece adhered down. So this is it for the tutorial. Page 3 is finished and in our album. In the next tutorial, we will begin decorating page 4. I'll see you in the next tutorial.